Well, would you look who's here? Looks like it's going to be a day to remember. Guys, look who the sea washed up!
Ahoy there, traveler! So Captain really did invite you to join the homecoming celebration.
Hey, I heard that you took care of another crisis while you were in Inazuma. Are the rumors true?
That's what I heard too. Thanks to you, Inazuma's Vision Hunt decree was finally put to an end. Well done, traveler.
Captain's got quite the eye for people. She said she was sure that your trip to Inazuma would stir up some waves. And sure enough...
Look at you, being so modest. We all know what you did to protect Liyue Harbor.
I've heard that they tell stories about you in Mondstadt, too. The honorary knight. Pretty impressive.
I'd say someone of your caliber would be right at home in the Crux. Right, sailors?
That's right. Wow, I'm getting excited just thinking of being the Traveler's crewmate. Hey, what do you say we arm wrestle?
I was worried you'd be too busy to show up.
Oh, Captain on deck!
Captain, we were just trying to talk the Traveler into joining the crew.
Yeah, come on, Captain Beidou. Surely you've got a way to get the Traveler on board.
Oh, he's on board right now for the celebration, isn't he?
Yeah, but just one celebration together is not enough. You know what we mean, Captain.
All right, I get it now. There is something special about you, Traveler. You earned everyone's respect, myself included. So it goes without saying that the Crux would be honored to have a crew member such as yourself.
No doubt about that.
But then again, a hero like yourself doesn't just set off on a journey without some bigger purpose in mind. So should a hero really drop what they're doing just to spend day after day drifting at sea with us? Well, if that were the case, then the Crux, known for always moving forward to the next horizon, would instead be holding someone back.
Right. I guess we didn't think that part through.
Remember, rather than seeking out strong members to join us, you should be focusing on making yourselves the strongest that you can be. If we are powerful, they will come to us. Isn't that why everyone here chose to come aboard in the first place?
Yes? A strong sailor is always looking for a sturdy ship.
I guess I almost forgot the first lesson you ever taught me. Thanks for the reminder, Captain.
Just be sure you all keep that in mind. Now, there's no more need to hound the Traveler, as you were. The Traveler and I have something to discuss. I'm glad you came. Welcome back aboard. Thanks. I'll take that. Some rumors have it that the leader of the Crux is so powerful that she could slay the mighty Leviathan Haishan without breaking a sweat. I can't go getting too caught up in my own reputation, though. That's certainly not how the Crux made it to where we are today. As the head of the fleet, my task is to keep us on the right course, no matter how turbulent the seas may become. But then again, the crew isn't usually this riled up. It's not that they're arrogant, they're just bubbling with ambition, that's all. Their excitement today comes from their great respect for you, both your strength and your character. So please, don't take it the wrong way. Oh, is that so? Well, it just so happens that we're doing some recruitment and training for new crew members while we're back. It'll be a first-rate chance to learn the life of a sailor. Since you're interested, why don't you come along and experience a sailor's life firsthand? I'm curious to see if you'll take the sea by storm in the same way you have on land. Nice. Come with me. Let's see how big of a splash you can manage. Chief Mate Juza's breaking in the newcomers, but I think we can spare you the tedium of that. After this, the new crew members will be arranged into 2 teams for more specialized training, according to their own aptitudes and the needs of the fleet. One team will learn comprehensive survival skills, including maritime emergency rescue, marine meteorology, psychological counseling, and so on. They will serve as the support team for the fleet, ensuring safe navigation. That's why we call them the Shield of the Crux. That's right. You catch on quick. As one might expect, we call the other team the Spear of the Crux, because they'll be learning about naval warfare. They'll make up the armed portion of our crew. Also, they're responsible for handling the fleet's cargo deals. So, what do you think? Which team is for you? You truly are an adventurer at heart. Let's start with the fundamentals for any armed crew member. Basic boat handling. Follow me. These are some older skirmish boats that we keep on the Alcor as backup. Although they've been made redundant by newer models now, they're still fully kitted out. They're perfect for when we need to do simulated battles as part of crew training. Disappointed? So this isn't quite on the scale that you had in mind, huh? To be honest, the Alcor going into battle is the last thing I'd ever want to see. In fact, out of all the confrontations we've ever had, almost all were resolved by negotiation. Only when negotiations fail do we consider deploying our armed fighters and skirmish boats, and they alone are enough to handle most situations. The only reason the Alcor would ever need to open fire would be if it were a fight to the death. The Alcor serves only two purposes: to deter or to destroy. We are an armed fleet with a strong sense of justice, not war-hungry lunatics. We're very careful about determining when to use force and exactly what level of force to use. All of this to say that mastering a small attack craft is quite enough for new crew members. Do you have any experience piloting small armed vessels? You mean you can do the jobs of a helmsman and a gunner simultaneously? Wow, that's quite an achievement. Even in the Crux, there are few who can do that. Seems like you're a natural. In that case, I'll skip the basics on how to operate your craft. The goal of this exercise is simple. Steer your skirmish boat along the prescribed route and return here within the time limit. You can start when you're ready. I'll be waiting here so I can observe your skills. Start whenever you're ready. Don't keep me waiting too long. Show me how it's done. Nicely done! That was a joy to watch. Perfect timing on the turns, you kept your craft stable on the straightaway. It was like watching a well-rehearsed show. All right. It's high time I introduced you to some of the more serious business that the Crux takes on. Come with me. We're going to Liyue Harbor. You may be aware that as an armed fleet, the Crux is kind of like the maritime equivalent of a guard for hire. We work as an armed carrier, earning our keep by successfully delivering the goods entrusted to us from A to B. Aside from that, though, there is also one other important way we make income.
Actually, it's trading in certain kinds of goods.
Hey, my hotshot accountant. Nice of you to join us.
Cut it out, boss. Juza sent me here with a message. He says preparations are now underway. If you give me the all clear, I'll head straight over.
Okay. Be careful. Well, she has something to take care of. Mora Grubber was right, though. The other important side to our business, the less official side, is doing exactly what merchants do. Importing here, exporting there. The only difference between us and regular merchants is that our transactions aren't entirely above board. You'll see what I mean by that shortly. I'm taking you to see one such transaction for yourself. Come on, let's go meet our trading partner for the day.
Fresh seafood! Fresh seafood! Catch it while you can!
What do you have?
Hello there! Here at Nay's Professional Fishmongers, we've got everything you could ask for. So what do you need?
I want a bass head with all the teeth removed. If there's a single tooth in there, I don't want it.
Huh? You know bass have pharyngeal teeth, right? In the throat? How do you expect me to get all those out?
Then I'll have a bass trunk with 2 swim bladders. Again, if it's short by 1 swim bladder, it's not the bass I want.
You're not making this easy for me. 1 bass means 1 swim bladder. Afraid that's not up to me.
Okay, then I'll take a bass tail with scales that are yellow on the outside, black on the inside. Also, it's gotta have a total of 81 scales, that's 7 times 7, no more, no less.
What kind of fish scales are yellow outside and black inside? You sure this is a fish you're talking about? In any case, you can try all you want, but 7 times 7 is never gonna get you 81. Pardon my asking, but you're not a fish expert, are you? I'm sorry, ma'am, but I'm afraid I don't have any of the things you're looking for. Look, I'm a professional. So are most of the people I serve. I can accommodate anything they ask for. Seems you two are amateurs. So I'm sorry, but you'll have to go someplace else.
Anywhere you'd recommend?
Like I said, Nay's Professional Fishmongers is for professionals. For amateurs, the place to go to would be Wise Amateur Fishmongers.
I bet you're wondering why that guy was saying he didn't have what we wanted. That was just the first step in the transaction to confirm our identity. The real deal will come later.
Fresh seafood! Fresh seafood! Catch it while you can!
Think you can bully me?
Fresh seafood! Fresh seafood! Come take a look.
Is this Wise Amateur Fishmongers?
That's the one. We have all kinds of amateur stuff here. The more amateur, the more of it we got. What would you like?
We'd like a bass head.
No problem. Ours are all toothless, mind you.
And a bass trunk.
Oh, no problem. I'll stick an extra swim bladder in there for you. On the house.
And a tail.
Sure thing. I'll paint the scales yellow on the outside and black on the inside, so you can tell at a glance, this ain't no ordinary fishtail. If it's 7 times 7 you want, I can do you 81, 138, or even 648. It's up to you.
Great. I like your style. We have a deal.
I appreciate your patronage. Please, take your order to our warehouse manager over there. A real amateur if I've ever met one. Proud to have you as a customer. No, we don't have the fish here. All fish sold at Wise Amateur Fishmongers are still swimming in the sea. Once we get the order in from the customer, we go fish it out for them. The warehouse handles that side of things. Pay first, then we bring you the goods. That way you get the freshest catch. Fresh seafood! Fresh seafood! Come take a look.
Are you two here to collect your order, huh, Beidou?
Yes, sir. We're here about that bass.
I didn't expect you to come in person, but we still need to follow procedure. The bass you want is not a standard specimen. Our fishermen need to wait for the right moment to catch it. You know the rules, I take it?
Of course.
Oh, well, as you know, timing and location are everything when it comes to fishing. You have to wait till all the conditions are just right. That means the tide, the moon, and the wind. So, let me ask you this. When will the tide come in?
The fishing song will sound out at midnight.
How drunk will the moon be before the party's over?
It won't stop while the Star of Death shines.
I see, yes. Which way will the sea breeze be blowing?
The breeze should be bound for Guyan.
All right then, well received. I'll go and make arrangements.
Great. I think that wraps up everything we needed to do in Liyue Harbor. Let's head back and wait for the delivery. The 3 people we just met are our business partners. Nay's professional fishmongers and Y's amateur fishmongers are just cover names. The bass, obviously, is the code name for the goods. The numbers of teeth, swim bladders, and scales all represent different specifications. Meanwhile, the conversation I had with the warehouse keeper was the instructions for the deal itself. Let me translate it for you. Tonight at midnight, the deal will take place in Guyan Stone Forest. The Alcor will wait there as long as needed. As for what the actual goods are, well, you'll see tonight. What if I were to say yes? What would you do then? Thank you. But don't worry, everything will be fine. I deeply value you as a friend, but ultimately, you're not with the Crux. I definitely don't want to cause you any trouble just because you hung out with me. So rest assured, we haven't broken any laws. At least not today.
Captain Beidou, you gave me quite the surprise when you showed up in person earlier today.
Well, my friend is visiting, so I wanted to show him how the Crux handles some of its important business.
I see. You two must be close.
You got that right. Now, down to business. Have you brought the goods?
Yep, all here. Please, feel free to take stock.
Stop! Nobody move! We have received certain information pertaining to a potential illegal business transaction at this location. Apologies, Captain Beidou, but I'm going to need to inspect those goods.
Oh? An illegal business transaction, you say? Well, all the goods are here. If you have any suspicions, please inspect them at your leisure.
Captain, everything's been checked. It's just a bunch of potatoes, flour, and so on. And all the paperwork checks out too.
Huh? Everything's been checked thrice over. There's not a single contraband item here. The paperwork was approved by the Ministry of Civil Affairs and the tax declarations are all in order.
Looks like you've managed to clear everything up. I suppose we can put this down as a simple misunderstanding.
Yes, apologies. This was a mistake on our end. Come on, let's go.
Bravo, Captain Beidou. This was rather ingenious. Seems like your friend still has a little catching up to do.
I know you have a lot of questions. Come on, take a walk with me and I'll lay it all out for you.
Well, I'll leave you both to it. Captain Beidou, I look forward to doing business with you again. Take care.
You probably thought that there was some sort of nefarious business going on behind all the secrecy today. The truth is, that was exactly what I wanted the Ministry of Civil Affairs to believe. What you might not know is that I, as the leader of the Crux fleet, and you, the great hero of Liyue Harbor, have both been on the Ministry of Civil Affairs watch list for a long time. In other words, whenever you or I crop up in Liyue Harbor, it almost always draws their attention. Not that there's any animosity behind it, mind you. In their words,
It's a security precaution to prevent people like us from causing unnecessary trouble.
oh, I have no qualms about that. They're just doing their job, keeping the land safe. But how does that saying go again? Ah, yes. Sometimes, the closer you are to something, the less you can see. Did you figure it out yet? That's right, Mora Grubber, the accountant. With you, me, and a few sacks of potatoes and flour serving as a front, the deal she's overseeing on her end should go off without a hitch. After all, the Ministry of Civil Affairs sent the Millilith to us. Looking at the time, it should be any second now. Look, that's the signal. Tonight's real deal is officially done. Do you have any more questions? You're right. Never underestimate her. But as long as we don't take things too far, she won't look into it too closely. She knows that neither you nor I would do anything to harm Liyue. In any case, there's another higher-level watch list at the Ministry of Civil Affairs above the one we're on. It's top secret. Even I don't know whose names are on it. But I do know that the individuals and organizations on that list are the ones the Qixing are really wary of. I've gotten off topic. On some level, Ningguang and I are actually business partners too. Reason being, I'm the only one who can get her some of the more obscure treasures she wants. It's complicated. All you need to know is that what might be easily attainable for some people can often be a lifesaver for others who can't get their hands on it. That's where we come in. It's as simple as that. You still have some important things to take care of, don't you? As long as you don't know what I was referring to, you'll be safe. So, I'm sorry, but I can't tell you for now. Of course, if the day comes when you've traveled to every corner of the world, found your sibling, and neatly tied up all your loose ends along the way, you're welcome to come back here and I'll tell you all about it. You'll always be welcome in the Crux fleet. I hope I get to see you on board again someday. The pen of the Crux. Oh, that's a wild idea. Unfortunately, this ain't the Wanwen Bookhouse, kid. As one might expect, we call the other team the Spear of the Crux, because they'll be learning about naval warfare. They'll make up the armed portion of our crew. The Vision of the Crux. Oh, we don't have that many visions, kid. As one might expect, we call the other team the Spear of the Crux, because they'll be learning about naval warfare. They'll make up the armed portion of our crew. Also, they're responsible for handling the fleet's cargo deals. So, what do you think? Which team is for you? As I expected, you have a will to protect others. There are two main subjects that the Shield of the Crux focuses on: survival knowledge and entertainment. As I was saying earlier, survival knowledge includes prevention of injuries and diseases at sea, navigation and cartography, basic meteorology, etc. You can go learn about these skills from Yinxing, Huixing, and Liushi. They're all seasoned hands in their respective fields. Each sailor has their own strengths and weaknesses. I'm no rookie, of course, but you shouldn't underestimate the knowledge of the crew. If there's anything I'm most proud of in the fleet, it's my people. Go and get to work. I'll have some questions to test you later. I look forward to seeing how you do. I can't wait to see how you perform.
Hello, traveler. I'm Yinxing, the Crux's surgeon at sea. Whenever a sailor has a health problem, they come to me. I deal with it all, from seasickness and common colds to amputations and everything in between. Oh, I presume the captain arranged this, correct? All right then, let's begin. First of all, let me ask you this. What do you think is the biggest danger that all new crew members face? That can certainly be a problem at sea, but it's not the biggest danger. The most dangerous thing for a newcomer is to underestimate the dangers of life at sea. Oh, I have seen many new crew members who see themselves as young and fighting fit and have no regard for safety. They think that since they are tough enough to look after themselves on land, they'll be fine at sea as well. Those are the ones that always end up in the sick bay. Everyone should know that being a sailor, especially on a long voyage, is a brutal job in an unforgiving environment. We have to face malnutrition when we're short on supplies, all kinds of injuries and diseases that the harsh ocean weather can bring, and even the psychological problems that can arise due to isolation and the lack of entertainment. To make things worse, the lack of medication and treatment options at sea can result in even minor health problems becoming serious, or even fatal. Oh, you probably thought I was joking, right? Well, that's not surprising. Most newcomers think the same way. But hopefully you now realize that with a little extra precaution, a lot of these things can be avoided. Well, I think that's enough for you to think over for now. Is there anything else you would like to know? Captain Beidou? Well, out of everyone I've met, she probably values people's lives and safety the most. Although I'm just a doctor, Beidou has given me the full authority to send any newcomers who I don't see as fit for service off the ship until they are ready to come back with the right attitude. Every time we're stocking up before a voyage, medicine takes top priority. I'm even allowed to choose the suppliers, regardless of the price. We have adequate budget for medical expenses. Do you know what Morgrubber, our bookkeeper, calls this? A significant financial risk. But Beidou knows the importance of having a healthy crew. That's why she has authorized me regardless. She places her full trust in me and believes that I can solve these problems. Of course, I have proven her right. So, to answer your question, that's how she thinks. Is there anything else you would like to know? Are you concerned about them? No wonder Captain Beidou thinks you're different. There must be more to you than just your strength. If you can convince Morgrubber to show you the books, you'll see there is a regular fixed cost titled Convalescence Payments and Incapacity Support for Injured Crew Members. Regardless of the fleet's income, those who have fought alongside us will certainly receive their compensation every year. Some of those that have returned to land have started small businesses, while others have chosen to go out traveling the world. The money is intended to allow them to live their lives as freely as possible. I'm sure being based on land helps a lot with that too. Still, we can't pretend like it solves everything. They call them life-changing injuries for a reason, you know. But if nothing else, it's good to know that while Captain Beidou is in charge of the Crux, no one will get forgotten. Is there anything else you would like to know? Well, my pleasure. Okay, let's leave it there then. Be sure to take good care of your health. Be sure to take good care of yourself.
Sorry about earlier, Traveler. We were so caught up on getting you to join the fleet that we didn't notice we were going a little overboard. Good thing the captain stepped in. Oh! Well, in that case, you have come to the right person. I'm not just blowing smoke. You're looking at the most talented navigator in Liyue Harbor. I'll start by introducing some chart reading essentials for new sailors. Feel free to interrupt if you have any questions. Let's start with what to look for when you get a set of complicated charts. First, you should always look at any indicated shorelines, islands or reefs, water depths, hydrological conditions, and other hazards. With these features in mind, you can answer the basic question of, can I chart a safe course through this area? Visually, nautical charts are a little unique. Unlike land maps, most charts do not have a fixed scale, which means that it can be hard to precisely determine the exact distance between 2 points. The most advanced nautical charts come with a supplementary chart, which has different colored lines marked on it to indicate distances. It's worth mentioning that under my direction, the Crux is using these advanced kinds of charts. Some cartographers mark out other points of interest on their charts, usually with their own special symbols. If they don't leave any accompanying notes, they can be very difficult to interpret. Not only those, we have tattered and torn charts that we've picked up from all over the place. To be honest, it can be quite a challenge, even for me. Some of these charts are really old and have symbols that I've never seen before. But if we don't decipher them, we will certainly miss many secrets of the sea. Fortunately, we have the captain with us. She managed to find some ancient books on semiotics that I can use to study the charts further. I don't think anyone other than our captain can manage to get these kinds of resources. Old charts and ancient books on semiotics are not the kinds of things that are sold in your average marketplace. Oops, I've gotten off topic. Well, that just about covers the basics of chart reading. Is there anything else you would like to know, Traveler? Drafting charts? That's certainly a more advanced topic. To be honest, I've only attained a smattering of knowledge in that area. The charts we are using now are just revised versions of the ones left by the previous navigator. So my mapping experiences have been primarily limited to updating our charts to reflect changes in the sea. I think you can ask Captain Beidou more about cartography. One time, the fleet sailed into an uncharted area by mistake. It wasn't long before we turned the fleet around and returned the way we came out for fear of potential hazards. But Captain Beidou still managed to draft a simple chart of the area we sailed through for if and when we explore the area again. Incredible, isn't it? I was amazed to see that the captain could even do cartography. Because I have the talent, and she doesn't want to let it go to waste. She treats the whole crew that way. I initially had the same question myself. After all, in many fleets, the captain also works as a navigator. I couldn't understand her reasoning at the time, so I asked her. She just laughed and told me to wise up, saying that even Rex Lapis never fights alone. She wants everyone on board to master their role, so that the Crux is not floating on her alone. That way, if the day ever comes when she's no longer with the fleet, we will still be able to sail onward without her. Captain Beidou may seem aloof and even act careless sometimes, but the truth is that she's very considerate of everyone on board. Is there anything else you would like to know, Traveler? My pleasure. A friend of Captain Beidou is a friend of mine. One day, I will decipher all these symbols.
Hello, Traveler. Are you here to learn about marine meteorology? In my line of work, I've got to have a pair of sharp eyes. I saw the captain showing you around the training grounds, and then you went to see Yingxing and Huixing. So I figured that she probably wants you to get to know the life of a crew member. Okay, let's get started. First, I'll introduce you to the basics of meteorology. Marine meteorology basically means keeping tabs on the weather as well as other ocean phenomena, so things like sea fog, storm surges, water spouts, and so on. These are all potential threats to safe navigation. Luckily, whatever weather might be coming up, there's always some kind of sign that gives it away in advance. Take water spouts, for example. They're caused by high-speed rotating winds on the surface of the ocean. They can engulf large ships and do immense damage. But if you know that water spouts can only form in an environment with high temperature, high humidity, and large clouds, then you can be well prepared. You will be even more alert if you also know that the presence of winds blowing in opposite directions, with a significant difference in speed, is a direct precursor to the formation of water spouts. And most importantly, if you spot a small white vortex emerging from the clouds, you should immediately notify the crew to steer clear of what's ahead. So there you go. Those are the warning signs of waterspouts. I am proud to say that over the years, I haven't let a single one sneak up on my watch. Well, I'm good at reading the sea, but I'm not as good as the captain when it comes to reading people. Do you know the small fishing village next to Wangshuin? I heard that when Captain was a kid, she worked there fishing with the adults. Later, she made her way to the harbor where she struggled to make a living. Managing to survive in an environment like that as a kid is solid proof of the captain's capabilities. If it wasn't for her, I never would have dreamed of taking this job. She gave me confidence and told me I could do it. You may not have heard, but I'm best known outside the Crux fleet for a slightly infamous story involving me, third-round knockout, and a few too many. Who would ever have thought that the rookie sailor who fell drunk into the sea and became a laughingstock among their now former crewmates would then go on to become a lookout for the Crux? But it's the unbelievable truth. It proves that having skills alone is not enough. You need someone like the captain who is a good judge of character. Find me anytime if you want to know more. Find me anytime if you want to know more.
So you've already finished talking to the crew, huh? I thought it would take you a while longer. So, what did you think? Well, you sound confident, but don't underestimate the shield of the Crux. Gotta admit, though, I like your attitude, kid. Okay, let's get started. First of all, life on the sea isn't always plain sailing. Injuries and illnesses happen all the time. But what is the single biggest danger facing crew members? Is that your final answer? All right, on to the second question. As you've just learned, the fleet plots its route using nautical charts. The charts used by the Crux have additional charts attached. The supplementary chart has lots of lines in various colors for added reference. What is the purpose of these lines? Okay, interesting. Now, last question. On longer voyages, we have to be especially careful to avoid certain weather hazards that pose a threat to the integrity of the ship and the lives of the crew. For example, waterspouts. So my question is, how can we reliably predict waterspouts so we can avoid them? Okay, those are all my questions. Do you want to know how you did? Congratulations, you... wait a second, you didn't pass. Were my questions too difficult? They didn't seem to be all that hard. Did you get them wrong on purpose, or...? Just kidding. I know you wouldn't do that. I guess you're just not really suited for life on the sea. In that case, how about we take a trip back to Liyue Harbor? Looks like you and the sea are not made for each other. Dry land is where you really come into your own. I've actually been hoping for the chance to give you an insider look at how some of the Crux's important business is conducted. There's that modesty of yours again. I didn't think I'd ever hear the word difficult come out of your mouth. Come on, let's get on with it. Now you know that the shield of the Crux is not such an easy job. Let's get started. You're the first person I've ever met who's so dismissive of the power of the sea. But I guess to put it another way, you're already a seasoned veteran, huh? In that case, I'll skip the basics on how to operate your craft.
Look at you, being so modest. We all know what you did to protect Liyue Harbor.
Hey, don't mention it. As a host, it would be pretty embarrassing to continue letting my guests be put on the spot like that. I can't go getting too caught up in my own reputation, though. That's certainly not how the Crux made it to where we are today. Do I? Oh, to be honest, I don't care for that kind of reputation. I don't want people to see me like some big shot official from Yujing Terrace. But I'll take it as a compliment. I'm glad you see me as well respected. I can't go getting too caught up in my own reputation, though. That's certainly not how the Crux made it to where we are today.